Who it chimes on the beat? Best producer in Louisiana. You don't believe me? Go to his YouTube page and check him out. My name is Sidney Combs, and I'm a young entrepreneur from Shreveport, Louisiana with $1 and a dream. The message for tonight is, greatness takes everything you have. Greatness takes everything you have. Before I get started on this, please like the video, share the video, subscribe to my channel. I'm not asking anyone for money. All I'm asking you to do is support the channel by pressing the button. Please support me so I can get this content spread out to many more people. Greatness takes everything you have. Whenever you pay attention to someone that's great, it's a lot of things that you don't see that goes on behind the scenes, that goes on behind closed doors. And I think a lot of times people take it for granted. And you get to a point where sometimes you can over-criticize someone that's great. And you'll criticize them, and what they're doing, 99% of people can't do. So you just have to be real cautious of that. But one of the first things you have to do, you have to break yourself all the way down. Okay? This is the thing that a lot of people struggle with. Okay? I give you an example. You might grow up, maybe you was in school and you made real good grades. Maybe you went to college and you did well. Maybe you was great in sports, whatever you was great in, right? Or you very good in, and you're trying to get to the next level. You have to break yourself down and figure out, okay, I've been doing this for a year, okay? In order for me to get to the next level, what do I have to do to get to that level? See, if you just think that you're just the best, you're the greatest, can't no one stop you, can't no one touch you, you can never get to the next level because you think you already arrived. You have to break yourself down. I give you an example. You can think of Kobe Bryant when he played, okay? And think about how great Kobe Bryant was as a basketball player. But you remember there were years when Shaq left that he was losing, okay? And they wasn't winning championships for about 5 or 6 years. And Kobe had to go back and look at himself and say, how can I be a better teammate? See, he had to get to that point. See, when he was with Shaq, right, he was very talented. But I think he became a better teammate when he had his team that he had to carry himself. He had to look and say, okay, if Paul Gasol not having the best game, how can I motivate him? How can I pep him up? If Andrew Bynum not quite playing A1, how can I pep him up? If you look at that finals, the last game, in Game 7, the year that they won a championship against the Celtics, Kobe Bryant didn't have a great game in Game 7, but he got a lot of rebounds. He passed the ball in the right position. He played great defense. See, you have to break yourself all the way down to get to that level to figure out, okay, what's my strengths and what's my weaknesses. The thing about becoming great, it's not a straight road. There's twists and there's turns. And see, in life a lot of times, we want things to just come, bam, exactly how we want it. I give you an example. Let's say at the end of the day, you might be a woman that want to be married, okay? So a woman wants to be married, right? In her mind, or she says she wanted to be married forever. She get married to a guy. But she don't understand that, hey, trouble gonna come in their marriage. Things are not going to be perfect. And you have to endure certain things. Okay? Things are not going to just go the way you want to go. And I hear people say, oh man, I want to be happy. See, that's a turn in the road. You're not going to just be happy just because you get married. You're not going to just be happy just because, hey, you want to be happy. That's not the way life goes. It's not the way it goes. There's twists and there's turns. Right now, we're in an economic bubble right now where the inflation is going up so much, okay? The price of food is so high, rent is so high. So you know what's going to happen right now? There are going to be twists and turns where your paycheck might not quite be enough. Or you might have just enough to get by. And you're going to have to figure out, maybe you might need to get a part-time job. And if you're a person that invests, you're still going to have to find a way to invest. You're going to have to find a way to make more money. You might thought that I'm going to be able to work this one job, go home, everything cool. But there's twists and turns when it comes to becoming great. What about the marriage? What about when there's a lie told in the marriage? Are you going to be able to deal with the twist and turn? What about there's infidelity in it? Are you going to be able to deal with the twist and turn? What about your job lays you off? Right? Are you going to be able to deal with that twist and turn and keep going? Or are you going to let the twist and turn stop you? See, when you watch Kobe Bryant, trust me, there were twists and turns. But you know what happened? He kept going. LeBron James has had twists and turns throughout his career. But you know what happened? He kept going for the goal. He kept going for the prize. Last year, LeBron James didn't make the playoffs. This season, the end of the season, he didn't make the playoffs. But you know what's going to happen next year? He's going to make the playoffs. I can promise you that. You know why? Because he understands that there's going to be twists and there's going to be turns. Think about Michael Jordan when he played. There's a lot of people that are LeBron lovers or Michael Jordan lovers, and they try to talk about each other. And one thing you hear about the people that talk about Jordan, they say, well, in the 80s, he couldn't get past Magic. He couldn't get past Larry Bird. He couldn't get past Isaiah Thomas. To me, I consider that greatness because there was a twist, there was a turn. He struggled to get past Larry, struggled to get past Magic, struggled to get past Isaiah Thomas, those teams. And he kept fighting, and he kept fighting, and he kept fighting, and he kept fighting. And that's what, in this world, what it's going to take for you to become great at whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish. If you're expecting everything just to come to you, it's not going to happen that way. Because let's just say you're trying to start a new career, okay? That career is going to be tough at first. You're trying to start your own business. I can promise you right now, when you first start your business, you're going to lose money. Your business is going to lose money in the beginning. Because at the end of the day, you don't have the clientele. It's going to take time for you to build that clientele up. It's going to take time. Now, once you keep going and you go through the twists and the turns, now you get to a point where you start making some money. Now you get to a point where you keep going, you keep going, and you keep going. And even when you keep going, you still got to break yourself down to get to a point to understand, okay, there's something I can be doing better. What do I need to be doing? You have to go after greatness. You have to go after it. Can you take criticism? Can you take criticism? It's going to determine your greatness. Think about when Kobe Bryant shot those 4 air balls against the Utah Jazz. And everybody talked about him. Everybody mocked him. Guess what happened? He heard that. And you know what he did? He accepted the criticism. What about when people called Kobe a ball hog? You know what he did? He accepted the criticism. He kept going. Think about LeBron James. Think about all the criticism LeBron has taken throughout his career when he decided to leave Cleveland and go to Miami. The backlash he got from that. But guess what happened? He kept fighting. He won 2 championships in Miami. Then he left and went back to Cleveland. Okay? Of course, the Miami Heat didn't like that. They didn't just criticize him, but they didn't like it. Then guess what happened? He goes to the Los Angeles Lakers. Okay? He get criticized. LeBron has been criticized throughout his career because he won't take people say they feel like he don't take the game-winning shot enough. But you know, because they say he make the right decision. But you know what? He has to keep making the right decision. And this is the problem in the real world we live in. There's people out here that are considered good men. And you know the problem with that is this. Once they get criticism, they stop being good men or women. You got great women out here. But you know what happened? As soon as they get criticism, they stop being good women because they can't ignore the criticism. Because people are going to criticize you whether you're doing good, whether you're doing bad. But that's all a part of greatness. Hard work and sacrifice. When you think of Kobe Bryant and think about the things that he went through as a basketball player, think about the sacrifice his family made. See, we talk about the sacrifice Kobe made, but we don't talk about the sacrifice the family made. You don't think Vanessa wanted more time with Kobe? You don't think his daughters wanted more time with Kobe? You don't even think Kobe wanted more time with his family? I promise you he wanted more time with his family. I promise you. I promise you that. But he knew he had to make a sacrifice. And he knew he needed the hard work. And he had a great wife that understood that. The average woman wouldn't understand that. All they'll do is criticize and talk. You work too much. A great wife understands there's going to be sacrifices. But, hey, I get to live an amazing lifestyle. Have someone to love me. And the opportunity and time that he had to spend the time with me, he's going to spend the time with me. Excuse me. Think about LeBron James. Think about the sacrifice from him. LeBron James, I just saw a video last week where he's shooting jumpers getting ready for the next season. LeBron James got Savannah at home. Think about the sacrifices she made. See, when you look at greatness, because to me, she's a great woman. She's a great wife. Right? Look at sacrifice. If you show me anyone that don't sacrifice, I can tell you that's not greatness. Everyone that's great sacrifices. Everyone that's great sacrifices. Even a great stay-at-home mom, she sacrifices. Sacrificing is key in order for you to become great. LeBron James, what about his son, Bronny? Bronny, at the end of the day, sacrifices. You think LeBron don't want to be more involved in his son's life? You think his son might not want his dad around sometimes a little bit more? He understands. That's what hard work and sacrifice, and that's the reason why LeBron is able to become great. When you look at Steph Curry, he just won his 4th championship, right? Think about the sacrifice he made for his family. Think about the sacrifice Ayesha made for her family. See, this is the thing about greatness, and a lot of women fail to even realize this, right? Whenever you see a great man, you normally going to see a great woman behind that man, normally. And that great woman, she has to sacrifice. The problem is, day and age, a lot of people don't want to sacrifice. A lot of people, they just want to live their life, enjoy their life, and there's nothing wrong with that, but you don't achieve greatness by that. You don't get greatness like that doing what you want to do. You don't get greatness by always wanting to have fun. You don't. Another thing about greatness, can you take the losses? See, everybody can say they can take wins. Can you take the losses? That's why most people don't go after their goals and dreams. Because, at the end of the day, they sit there and tell themselves, you know what? I will go after my dreams, but if I don't get my dreams, guess what happens? People talk about me. No, I don't want to take that loss, so I won't do it. You have people at the end of the day, you can have men, right? Have a great woman in their life. They want to marry the woman. You know why? Well, I can't take the loss of a divorce. Why you think the divorce part? Why don't you think at the end of the day that you all can be together and make it? Think about when Kobe Bryant played. Think about the years he went without Shaq and he was losing. But he kept fighting. Think about LeBron James missing the playoff. Think about LeBron James' first NBA Finals. They got swept by the Spurs. Swept. He had to take the losses. See, that's the thing that's key with greatness. See, when you look at great people, you even look at Tom Brady. You see 7 Super Bowl wins. Do you see the losses? He just lost last year to the Rams in the playoffs. But you know what happens? He come back this year and he's ready to fight again. See, that's the problem in this world. See, we love wins, but we don't want to accept losses. But you know the thing about losses? You learn from losses. You're able to look and see what you did wrong. You learn from wins also, but you learn from losses. That's so key. Can you accept new information? You cannot become great without accepting new information. Think about when Michael Jordan was in the league in the 80s. He couldn't get past the Pistons. He couldn't get past Boston. He wasn't going to beat the Lakers. Before 91, you know the difference between when he was in the 80s and the 90s? Remember, he had a season where he averaged 37 points per game. In 88, he won Defensive Player of the Year, Michael Jordan. But you know when he won a championship, you know what happened? He accepted new information. Phil Jackson came to him and said, hey, in order for you to win a championship, you have to trust your teammates. He had to accept new information. And in this day and age, when people get past 20, 25, they accept no new information. They think everything that they think is true. They think it cannot be wrong. But then when you get the same results in your life, you have to stop and ask yourself, you know what? Maybe it's something I'm not doing right. In order for Jordan to switch up and adjust to that triangle offense, he had to understand and accept new information and say, you know what? I'm not going to get to the finals playing the way that I play this style. LeBron James the same. LeBron had to adjust and he had to understand in order for me to get to the next level, he was great at passing the ball, but he had to be more assertive in games to control games and win championships. When they won that championship in 2016, he was averaging like 35, 37 a night. He was more assertive. That was the most assertive that he's ever been. He had to accept new information. He knew me scoring a 27 I normally average in the season, that wasn't going to win this championship. I told you with Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant, in the years that he was playing, when Shaq left, remember he scored 81 points. That team didn't win a championship. But then when he got Bynum, he got Gasol, and he still scored a lot of points, but he was able to trust those teammates. That's when he got over that hump and was able to win that championship. Another thing about becoming great, in order to receive that greatness, you have to stop wanting to be liked. That's the biggest problem in the world. Everyone wants to be liked. So you know what happens? Give you a prime example. You won't be the best version of yourself because you don't think people will accept it. I'll use me for an example. I remember when I very first started becoming a barber, okay? And there were certain times where I might have had a client and the client didn't want to fully pay me. Or I might have had a situation where I had clients that will complain just to complain. So you have some people that complain over legitimate complaints, and you have some people that complain just to complain. And I remember one of the barbers in my shop, and I was told, they said, hey man, you got to understand that you ain't going to be able to impress everybody. There's going to be certain people that no matter what you do, they're not going to be happy. And you're going to have to be able to accept that. And I had to learn that, hey, everybody not going to like me. Everybody not going to want my business. Some people going to want other business. They're not going to want me to take care of them. Had to understand that. Even me doing social media, this video right here and other videos I do. I can't post a video on, hey, everybody just liking everything I say. See, a lot of people, they can go out here and say, hey man, I can speak in front of a camera. No, you can't, because you want to be liked. And you're not going to tell the truth because you want to be liked. But you know the problem, want to be liked, you're never going to make everybody happy. So you might make this group happy, but this group is not going to like you. You might make this group like you, that group not going to like you. Either way it goes, it's going to be people that's not going to like you. Think about being a parent at the end of the day. You have a daughter or a son, and you care so much about them liking you. They won't be the best version of themselves if you so focused on them liking you. See, the thing about liking, and this is programmed in us, to want to be accepted, to want to be liked. But when you watch Kobe Bryant play, a lot of people didn't like him and he didn't care. LeBron James, there's a lot of people don't like him. He cared a little bit. But in order for him to be that great, I'm pretty sure he's gotten to a point where he accepts people not liking him. He accepts it. See, Kobe, I don't think he didn't care. He stopped wanting to be liked. I think LeBron accepts that people don't like him. That's good enough. But we live in a society where we can't reach greatness because we're so worried about being liked. But you know what's so crazy? If you pay attention to everyone that's great, name one person that everybody like. Michael Jordan, everybody didn't like him. Kobe Bryant, everybody didn't like him. LeBron James, everybody didn't like him. Tom Brady, everybody don't like him. Muhammad Ali, everybody didn't like him. But you know what all of them have in common? When they get older, they retire, everybody start loving them. But when they play, whatever sport they play, people didn't like them. Think about a businessman. You can have a businessman at the end of the day that so many people don't like. But you know what happened when he retires from that job? 20, 30 years later, all the people that didn't like him come back and ask him for advice. Hey man, we want to know what you did for this company so we can grow this company for this company and make more money. See, when you get to a point where you start wanting to be liked, that's when you become great. Because now there's no limitations. As long as you worry about being liked, there's a limit that you can go. And you got to stop. Because at the end of the day, it's like, well, if I go too far, I'm going to offend somebody. See, I can speak and say what I need to say because at the end of the day, I don't care if you like me or not. Let me tell you why. Because I know in the end, you'll come back and love me. That's the thing with Kobe. There were so many people that didn't like Kobe while he played the game of basketball. I'm going to be honest with you. I wasn't the hugest Kobe fan until after he won his last championship, the 5th ring. And I said, you know what? I want to appreciate his greatness before he's gone out the league. Because normally what people do, they give everybody flowers when they're not playing the sport anymore. And I understood that and I said, I don't want to do that with Kobe. I want to appreciate him. So I appreciated him ever since that last championship he won. LeBron James. There's a lot of people that don't appreciate him right now. But when he out the league, 10 years later, you're going to hear everybody saying, oh, we love LeBron. See, the thing about being great, you got to stop caring about people just liking you. Because greatness takes everything that you have. My name is Sidney Combs, and I'm a young entrepreneur from Shreveport, Louisiana with a dollar dream. I need everyone to like this video. I need everyone to like this video. Share the video. Subscribe to my page. All I'm asking you to do is to hit the like button. Also, comment on the video. Tell me your opinions on how you feel about the video. The first person that comments on this video, I will get him a $10 cash out. But it's very important that you leave your cash out information with the comment. This message is so key and so important to the world. Because when you see someone great, you don't understand the sacrifices. You don't understand what they went through, what they gone through. See, you have to get tough to become great. Soft people don't become great. Because when you get great, there's going to be people that's not going to like you because you're great. You have to be able to get to that next point. Who in charge on the beat? Best producer in Louisiana. Support him. Go to his page. Like his videos. Subscribe to his page. I've been having discussions with him. He has new music that he's about to drop. He finna set it on fire. My name is Sidney Combs. I'm a young entrepreneur from Shreveport, Louisiana with a dollar dream. Thank you.